All right, guys. So yeah. Anyway, without further ado, let's watch a Trump.
Raise your hands if you think that Donald Trump actually won the election. If all the votes were counted accurately, who thinks he won it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 out of 14 think Trump free and fairly won the election. Now, again, these are people that some of them are involved in politics. A lot of them have, either like been part of a campaign or worked on something in the government. Like, these are people that usually follow the news. He doesn't just pick up random normies. Like, they're usually at least somewhat involved in, like, have a decent understanding of, politics. I'm sorry, 13 out of 14.
Okay, Denise, where's the number one source for news for you?
I love watching Fox
one.
News. I love listening to the news because I drive a lot for a living. And right now, by the way, I'm living in Washington, D.C. I'm staying with my daughter these past 2 weeks, and it's a nightmare here. It's a nightmare. But I listen to the news. And what I just heard recently, that they're comparing us to the KKK. One of the newscasters, any Republican, it's disgusting.
Randy, where do you get your news from? What do you watch?
I used to watch Fox News up until the election. So now I kind of just looking online. I was getting it from Twitter.
And this really, really drives home the point that our biggest problem is media literacy. Like, I love all the choice in media these days, don't get me wrong. But the fact that you can go your entire, you can live in the same household as someone and get completely different news at all times of the day, every day, and just get what you already feel is right validated by 17 different sources, has clearly hurt our political discourse, because it's just, media literacy is everything when it comes to these big issues. And you watch Newsmax, and they're literally saying they hope Biden fails and that they still think the election was stolen.
Twitter, but
The fuck?
So now I don't even really know where to get my news, because I don't know what's true and what's not. I don't know what to believe from anywhere. I just feel like
Newsmax, Breitbart.
Wendy, where do you get your news from?
That guy likes Breitbart, apparently.
Newsmax, formerly from Fox. Occasionally I'll watch the 5. Talk radio.
Word 404, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Really much appreciated.
Half and half.
Charles, why did you stop watching Fox?
Hold on, I missed that
election.
Talk
Who-
radio.
Who here has stopped watching Fox since the election?
Half and half.
1, 2, 5, 9. Oh, like 2/3 of them. So So I mean, and now, I mean, like a month ago, it was being reported that Newsmax was beating Fox in the rating. But now that, I mean, I guess that storyline lost its flavor, but it's actually been beating Fox News in the ratings quite a bit. Like on in a lot of key slots, Newsmax has been overtaking Fox News, and we already had an issue with people believing insane things with Fox. Now we're coming into an age where Newsmax is going to be the Fox News, at least to a certain section. Not a bright future.
Charles, why did you stop watching Fox?
I stopped watching Fox a couple of years back. I just saw them sliding further and further and further to the left, and I have CNN for that. I have MSNBC for that. I don't need Fox to go to the left. So I get my news from Breitbart, Newsmax.
Meredith, why'd you stop?
So he's deep in it. He's Breitbart, Newsmax. He's deep in. A couple of years ago, Fox was too left for him. Man, I don't know. You had a white nationalist being Tucker Carlson's head writer. That was too left. That was okay. Well, agree to disagree, I guess.
Stop watching Fox?
Oh, me, I didn't so much. And when you say news, I know where I get my opinions, but news, unless I see it with my own eyes anymore, I don't believe anything. It's pretty terrible, actually.
Citizen journalist.
How do you know the election was stolen if you don't believe anything?
I don't know it was stolen. I know that when somebody
Fox News will still be the biggest problem. Yeah, no, I think Fox News is still going to be a problem. What I'm worried about is Fox News. Fox News right now has like a decision. Are we gonna are we gonna go more to the conspiratorial side to try and win back that audience? Because clearly since the election stop the steal narrative has hurt them. So are they gonna lean more to that now that the election's over and they kind of have to reassess where they're gonna go, or are they just gonna try to go back to that pretty much, what do you call it, just obstruction news where everything that Joe Biden does is bad, just culture war, immigration? Are they going to go those regular Republican talking points, or are they going to go more towards the conspiratorial narrative?
wins an election at 4 a.m. and people stop voting, that's just not how we do things.
One more time, hold on.
It was stolen if you don't believe anything.
I don't know it was stolen with my own eyes anymore. I don't believe anything. It's pretty terrible, actually.
Well,
I don't know.
How do you know the election was stolen if you don't believe anything?
I don't know it was stolen. I know that when somebody wins an election at 4 a.m. and people stop voting, that's just not how we do things.
Okay, that didn't happen. I that is, out of all the talking points, there's not live TV coverage. I was up at 4 a.m. watching them as they all said they were going to stay out there and count votes. We want to get this done. And they did that in Wisconsin, Georgia. There was no stopping of counting. I don't know where, some of these narratives just come out of thin air. I think one count, a couple counties might have stopped. And then Nevada, I don't know what they were doing for a couple days, but there was no mass stoppage of voting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, the voting process is always like that. Cut these boomer Social Security and Medicare. Even John King was asleep at 4 a.m. Healthy skepticism is one thing. True. Unquenched skepticism. Yes. That's thanks for the K Bernie. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, unhealthy skepticism is bad. And you ever notice it's only when a white guy shoots some people or something that they analyze every frame and anything. If there's some case, some case that gets national attention that they can grift for, there's never any false flag narratives from that. It's only when it's only Parkland, Sandy Hook, the Las Vegas shooter. They'll analyze every frame. I had a buddy, well, I don't know if he's really a buddy anymore, a kid I used to hang out with in Florida. He was on Facebook today writing paragraphs and books about how the documents that Joe Biden scanned, if you look closely under an infrared light, there was actually no words on the page. You know what I mean? So that kind of skepticism, a little sus.
That's all we ever wanted was an investigation. We were told to move along. Nothing happening here. Just keep moving. That's all we ever wanted was an investigation. We were told to move along. Nothing happening here. Just keep moving. Don't look. Don't ask questions.
Yeah, it's absolutely
And we
absurd.
look.
Is that what happened? Do I live in a different world? Did we not have 60 court cases? Did Georgia not recount 3 times? What else? I don't even know what else we could have done besides have another election, which they called for. But it's they either have very short memories or they're just lying. They've lied to themselves so much that they believe this stuff. No investigation. I mean, the president of the United States took it to every court in the land, including the Supreme Court, a court which he's put 3 justices on himself personally.
We ask questions when we see a guy
Yeah,
who
they don't get what an
from his damn
investigation is.
basement,
Yes.
who had 12 people show up at his rallies, gets 80 million votes. Come on.
Yeah, it doesn't
Right.
make sense. So
Just
I'm a business
investigate,
analyst
just-
and I look at numbers all day. And when I went to bed at night, Pennsylvania had, we were up. And then when I woke up, 900,000 votes all of a sudden went to Biden, and he won by what, like 3% in Pennsylvania? It doesn't make sense. Like, if you look at the numbers, they don't make sense. And so then I listened to the hearings, all the hearings. I listened to all single people talking about it.
No married people, just single people. You mean the hearings where there was they could just shoot from the hip and say anything? And I don't know what this narrative is of Biden's South Carolina campaign event. Like, I was personally at, like, do we not remember these? What is this? What do you call this? Oh, it's not gonna, okay. But Biden had plenty of campaign events. He campaigned all the time before the global pandemic that has killed 410,000 people or whatever in a year. It's been just about a year. Inauguration Day was the 1 year anniversary of COVID, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. But like, he campaigned all the time, but we were in a pandemic. But that's fake too, so you know.
Something happened. Congress is not
The
doing
ones in
their
the
due
hotel meeting
diligence to
rooms, yeah.
investigate this.
They
I don't know if
want to
it's because they-
investigate it.
Right, because it'll take
don't want to.
forever. It'll take
Let's see it.
forever.
No, it'll take
It
their
doesn't have
power.
to take forever.
It'll
Well-
take their power.
I don't want to see
Exactly.
it.
And then
Like
when they
Trump?
played a game like they were going to do something, they weren't going to do anything. It's like for the next election, but we got to live with the results of this one that was stolen.
Right.
Right.
Trust
Why
me,
should we vote? Tell me why.
Thank
You shouldn't. Don't vote.
Look at Georgia. Exactly the same process was used in Georgia, and whoop-de-doo surprise. Whoop-de-doo surprise. The
Absolutely.
Democrats got elected.
Well,
So,
look at what
why should
look
we
at what
vote?
look at what
I don't
Nancy
see a
Pelosi is
reason.
doing with HR1. Her first bill of the new Congress is to submit into law the very things that they used to steal this election.
Yep.
And now they got the majority to pass it.
What, votes? She's gonna submit into law votes, apparently. I don't know what the first bill is. Or I'm drawing a blank. I'm sure I've heard of it, but yeah, and okay, let's go. I want to make this point real quick. This guy, why should we vote? Here's what we need to do. If Biden in the first 100 days can just pass a couple things that the average guy, not us that either, talk about politics or really follow politics closely, like we know Biden's 17 executive orders first day, that's all great, but in a week, nobody will really remember a lot of it. Like if we can get like 2 or 3 really substantive things, and like just break the back of the Republican Party, these people will get disaffected and not vote. And then if we can usher in a new crop of voters that are like, hey, this guy's all right. He put $2K in my pocket. He gave me health, he kept me in my house, or he did this, or he did that, and then we can have a new crop of people so we can basically keep these people out of the majority forever. Because the number one thing I'm worried about is, one, the misinformation campaigns or disinformation campaigns ramping up, which we'll talk about that later. And then 2, like, if we drag our feet, the next guy is going to be worse. He'll be Trump, but like a little smarter, like actually able to get things done. And that's what I don't want. Like, campaigning for the midterm starts in like 9 months. Comes faster than you think. But that's what I think we need to do. Boot on the neck. Get these people out of here. I don't care if they ever vote again. They're in la la land. Who cares? I don't want them to vote. Let's get them out of there, and then we'll get some new voters.
They're going to change the rules and keep power. That's what I fear for about my children, is that this is not the America that we grew up in, because they're going to change the rules just like Adolf Hitler did, just like Fidel Castro, just like
Are
you know,
you
Chavez.
you
It's
really
going to
want-
happen.
Are you sure you really want to compare Joe Biden and the Democrats with Adolf Hitler? You sure you
Yes.
wanna do that?
It's not
The
Joe Biden.
methodology, absolutely.
Him and Harris.
Methodology's there.
The methodology of Hitler? Oh, the guy in the front, that's Frank Lunt there. But yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Tim Cotton seems to be that guy. Yeah, Tim Cotton could be that guy. He's definitely on the forefront. Right now, honestly, it's Trump is still the most popular. You know what I mean? But I don't think, I'm kind of hoping, you know, and that's another thing. I think if we can pass some good legislation, that'll have Biden like kind of in the driver's seat to have, you know, to spend some political capital with the impeachment, stuff like that, immigration. You need to do the economic stuff first because everybody agrees on that. If you start with the hot button issues like immigration, culture war stuff, that's where you're going to lose people. Do the economic stuff, help people out because that helps everybody, and then do the immigration stuff. It's all important though. Voter fraud was pure and simply to rile up idiots to storm the Capitol and create division while the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys received information from Congress and men. You know, yeah. Well, you know what's also scary is a lot of the dissolution QAnon people that still believe in it, but now that Trump's not in office anymore, they're not so chill. You know, they're not just crazy boomers on their computers anymore. Now they're upset and they want to go out and do something about it. So that's what I'm worried about is people like the Proud Boys, and even worse than the Proud Boys, really, recruiting these people and getting them out in the streets and putting a fucking gun in their hand. Anyway, let's move on here. But this guy seems to be real far gone. This guy hasn't had much to say. This guy's the only one, this Jim here, he's the only one that seems to be like I'm conservative, but I'm not batshit crazy. Because he didn't believe the election was stolen. Like, this is basically the makeup of the Republican Party now. One Jim for every, 13 crazies.
Should have.
By the way, while you guys are here, if you could like the stream, I really, really appreciate it. All my socials are in the description. If you want to donate to the stream, that's also in the description. You can join the Discord. Same thing on Twitch. It's in the panels. Yeah, all that stuff. So, all right, let's keep going.
To face the American people for what
How
they've
many
done.
people agree with Frank? I'm curious. How many people? I agree with Frank.
Hold on, we gotta go back.
I'm
So-
sympathetic.
I think the congressman should be. I think.
Are
Let's start
you
over.
proud of what they did at the Capitol?
I am sympathetic to what they did at the Capitol. I am absolutely sympathetic because I feel like I
See a
have
lot of
nowhere
head
to go
shaking.
after this last election. What am I supposed to do? I can't vote them out. They're going to refuse to be voted out. No term limits, no balanced budget. They're going to refuse to be voted out. I'm
So-
sympathetic.
I think the congressman should be. I think the congressman should be pulled out, and each of them face a tribunal and
course
face
it's the guy from
punishment for
Florida.
how they betrayed our country over all these years. Every one of them should have to face the American people for what
How
they've
many
done.
people agree with Frank? I'm curious. How many people? I agree with Frank.
By the
These
way,
guys that should have a reckoning come. No, that Frank, not you, Frank.
Yes. I want to make it
Taking
clear.
over.
This is agreeing with Frank from Florida, not me. Jim, I know you
Frank's
don't-
coming from. I do. He wants a reckoning. He wants to know why these people have betrayed us, and he wants them to stand up there.
I've seen a lot of head nods when he called for these people to be dragged out and put in front of military tribunals. Wendy's definitely the Florida people. I don't know, man. Can we vote? Can we get Florida as no longer a part of the country through reconciliation? Just 51 votes. I don't know. We could maybe get bipartisan support on that. Florida's just bat shit crazy, man. I swear.
They're say, yeah, I betrayed you for money or power or a Chinese spy or whoever it is.
And the reckoning is normally an election, but we don't have that anymore.
No, don't have that anymore.
These people are dumb. This is America. this is what we got to work with. These are the voting public. These are active, engaged Republicans. These are the people that knock on doors. These are the people that definitely vote. These are the people that campaign, volunteer. This is them. This guy, on the other video, not this one, this guy was a stockbroker for 30 years. He's just completely pilled. You know, this is our one half or third, I don't know, a third of our country.
More.
Powerless.
You know, I'm sitting here listening to all this, and I left the Republican Party
This is the one normal guy.
about 3 weeks ago
Well,
because of what I saw at the Capitol. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed for the president. I voted for him twice. I had my lawn signs out. I had my flag up. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed because look at COVID, how that's totally out of control right now. You don't hear from this man anymore. Pence has got to go around, and what he did to Vice President Pence and threw him under the bus.
That was bad.
I will never.
Wow, I see that the other way around, Jim.
No, I disagree. Pence
Penn
could not do anything under the Constitution. Could not do anything. Pence did what he had to do.
Pence had 2 months. Pence had 2 months before he came out and gave that letter. He had 2 months to say what he thought, and he betrayed us, just like the Democrats and the Republicans have. Pence had 2 months, and he remained silent.
now see, I could handle a Republican Party if it was a party full of Jims. I'm sure me and Jim don't. I'm a lefty for sure. I'm not like a centrist or anything. Like, I'm on the left. I'm sure me and a Jim do not agree on anything. But at least he is in reality. He sees what happened a couple weeks ago, and he understands, man, this is disgusting. Now I'm out. Personally, I think he should have definitely been out before that. But we're at a point where a lot of these people, they're fully in. They're in all the way. There's no backing out. This is where they're at, and they're going with it. And they got people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert to back them up. So that's where they're going to go to. I really think like pushing for a party split is the way to go. We need to fracture them, but they are a wounded puppy. Let's make sure we champion the issues that are going to keep them divided because of the money. Don't let them rally around immigration. Don't let them rally around culture war stuff, bathroom bills, don't give them that opportunity. Let's get some good economic stuff passed, and then they'll be done. These guys can't last much longer. They're all hanging on by a thread because the money's going to dry up. The Republican establishment can't deal with these people, at least not in the light. Hold on. Okay, that was one we just watched. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? What bathroom bills is the hill to die on? God, I remember when that whole discussion was going on. It's not much of one anymore, but bathroom bills. Like, they're actually worried about, they're going to let... I remember one of the commercials was like a guy like looking around, and he like sneaks in a bathroom and takes a little girl. It's like somebody like filmed this or came up with this idea, filmed it, and said, let's put hundreds of thousands of dollars into this and run it all over the nation because this is a good campaign ad. Like, Jesus. What percentage of wackos make up the Republican Party right now? Yeah, I don't know. Percentage that buys into I'd say percentage that believes in stop the steal, I'd say it's 60%. That full on, and I think the reporting kind of shows that too, or the polls. It's hard to tell with polls because polls are always such a small sample size. But Man, I might even say it's more than that. I might go 70% genuinely believe the election was stolen. I mean, here's a focus group, and 13 of them thought it. I mean, that's a really small sample size, but.
What advice do you have for Donald Trump now? I'm curious. What advice do you have for Donald Trump now? Denise, what advice do you have for Donald Trump?
Keep fighting. Keep fighting, and hopefully the truth will come out, and I respect him for everything he's done for this country.
Joe, advice?
I want to thank him for what he's done for the country, and pick your battles.
Can somebody explain to me what is better now than 4 years ago? Like, I can't think of anything that is better right now than it was in 2016. The stock market is higher, something that naturally goes up 8% every year. I don't know what it's up, but it's, it's not much up. It's not up more than 32%. You know what I mean? I think it's up like 40 or 50. But that was the massive tax cut. So, I mean, a bunch, and 90% are what is it, 80? It's 80 or 90. 80, or we'll say 85. 85% of the stocks are owned by 10% of the people. So forgive me if I'm not a big fan, even though I, trade stock options. That's like my main source of income right now. Pretty much my only source of income. But forgive me if the stock market I don't give a shit about and isn't a good reflection on Wall Street ain't Main Street. Donald Trump. So other than that, I mean, the economy's in tatters. People are out of work. LGBTQ people are worse off than they were. I mean, I just don't know what's better. We're a laughingstock of the entire world. Everything. I don't, where do you even start? I don't know what's better. I heard something that sounded legit, but I can't recall. Yeah, right-wing nutjob YouTubers are booming. Exactly. That the right-wing YouTube community is killing it. Trade stock options as your income. Yeah, that's my main source of income right now. Wait, that is a job. What do you mean? How's that not a job? Do you know what? Okay. I don't even know what to say to that. What do you think making content is? I was also a truck driver for 5 years. If you think that was a better job, I can do that. Tell me how I can please you, sir. We got to hear white elected officials be as publicly... yeah, that's true. $7 dividend checks don't pay my mortgage. No doubt. Your real-time take on the Q shaman during the siege was epic. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, let's get back to this. Was this...
Very carefully for the next 4 years, because you have 75 million people who are going to back who you support.
Lisa.
Apparently you've never seen my truck. So maybe scroll back on my page a little bit.
To come out of hiding. There are a lot of people who kind of want to know what the hell's going on from a man who said absolutely nothing since January 6th, we couldn't shut him up for the 4 prior years. So I think he needs to come out of hiding and explain to the people what's going on.
Jamie.
Keep fighting, get the truth out, and run for 2024.
Mark.
Turn it around and use the kind of power you can to get congressmen and senators elected and to keep on influencing the party in the direction he started.
Wendy, advice?
Take it easy. He's been kicked and beat and squashed. And
I agree with Wendy.
About him being, he has no platform. Nobody wants to talk to him anymore. They've shut him down on social media. He's basically a pariah as far as the media is concerned.
Correct.
So, I say
And
you
us
did a
too.
great job. You showed
How
us
about
that the slow moving government is false. You rip back the curtain. We see all the shenanigans. We see all the backroom deals. We see all the corruption. Thank you. Take it easy. Go to Mar-a-Lago, play some golf, have some drinks, lay by the pool, you know, take Melania out on the town. You did good. You got screwed, but enjoy the rest of your life, man. We got this.
Frank.
Keep fighting, do rallies.
I mean, at least that was kind of chill, right? At least she, I mean, it wasn't like storm the Capitol, didn't burn down all the Satanists. She just like, whatever, man, just go play some golf. They screwed you over. Okay, just go play some golf. Wendy reporting live from Florida.
And run for re-election and help other Trump-like candidates win.
I don't know about that. You think Trump will I don't think Trump's going to be doing anything political except anything. I think if depending on how the impeachment thing goes, which is going to start, the impeachment trial starts February 8th, apparently. I heard that right before I went live. But I don't really see Trump getting too involved in other politics. I don't see him like supporting candidates or backing candidates, or definitely funding any of them. I don't think he'll get too involved. I think he'll do his own thing and maybe for his kids, which apparently they all want to run for shit now. Obama had a cult? He did? Yeah, I was in that cult. Like the cult of Obama or something. I don't know. It starts February 8th. Yep. I think Trump will be doing whatever Putin says. I don't know. I think they broke up. I think him and Putin broke up. For the love of God, fade into oblivion. Problem is the backroom deals are dead. We need some kind of deals. We need government working. What we need. People stroke out of Adderall abuse? Probably so. Oh shit. Someone's about to die. Hold on. I'm out. Stay. Okay. Last one. Lastly, I asked my group of Trump voters whether they want Republicans to work with President Biden. This ought to be interesting. How much you want to bet they all say no?
What do you want the Republicans to do in responding to Joe Biden over the next year? Go ahead.
Leave. Very much. Just leave.
Fight.
Impeach.
Keep the Democrats from changing the rules so that they remain in power forever. That's exactly what they're trying to do, and the Republicans are the only chance we've got to keep them from doing that.
And they won't.
How do these people not understand that the Democrats are so weak? And Chuck Schumer bows down on basically everything. Although I did finally see some pushback on the whole shared power agreement over the filibuster thing. But I mean, Republicans change the rules whenever it suits them. They use the nuclear option for Supreme Court justices. And then the whole thing with Merrick Garland in 2016, and they went right back on that in 2020. I just don't even know what to say.
It's the most important job to do right there.
They won't do it. They
No,
won't do it. They're in bed. It's the uniparty.
Yeah,
and
hopefully
they're in
AOC
bed.
will primary.
We got about 6 guys down there in D.C. that we can count on, maybe 5, and they can't stop what's coming.
AOC.
When they had the White House and the House and the Senate, what are they going to do now?
AOC gets out there and she gets herself out there in front and she fights for what she believes. We don't agree with her. We can't stand her. But I'll tell you what, I do respect her because she gets out there and fights for what she believes. And you guys could be on Fox.
Did you guys see the videos of AOC on Inauguration Day out there picketing with the with the food workers, I think it was. I don't remember exactly, but she was out there picketing for a union with some guys in New York. It was pretty badass.
News, Newsmax, whatever out there in the media every day,
I caught the Q
fighting,
slogan
pushing
too,
our
yeah.
agenda instead of being babies and wimps. Fight.
Denise, what do you want them to do?
I want them to stand up for us and be behind us, because right now everyone is so at war. I'm just so afraid of this country right now and how they're going to start fighting. I mean, I can't even talk to my friends. It's like they think, you know, it's just come down to that. Everybody wants to argue, and I want it to be peaceful.
Jamie, what do you want the Republicans to do in regards to Joe Biden?
Don't let him overstep his power in creating another fraudulent election. I think like the ballot system that created, like because of COVID and all of that happened, I think it created a mess that we couldn't clean up. And I don't want to see that happen again. And I think they're going to do that, which really, really scares me, which means we won't be represented.
Okay, so yeah, sorry, I was had a troll in the TikTok comments. Had to handle that real quick. AOC for president. I just hope she primary Schumer, man. That's what I'm hoping for. They want to use violence to murder their enemies based on the fake version of reality. Yeah, they want. I don't think they want peace. I'm sure a couple of them do. But I think the overwhelming sentiment with Republicans is obstruct on everything you can. Obstruct the horrible socialist agenda, you know what I mean? You know, the horrible socialist agenda of giving people health care and stimulus checks. You know, it's weird how, like, right-wing populism is just crazy conspiracy people. And then, like, left-wing populism is, like, healthcare, $15 an hour minimum wage, you know, AOC, but then they're called the radicals, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that was the Trump focus group. And these are all people, again, and the other one, these people have worked for campaigns, they're politically engaged, they watch the news daily, they, you know, they pay attention to politics. And the overwhelming sentiment was the election is stolen, Trump is the greatest, all the Democrats are evil, election stealing socialists, why should we even vote? I mean, they're just... And I think it just goes back to media literacy. Like, that is something that we so much have to work on, or I don't know. People a lot smarter than me need to figure out how we can hold these grifters accountable better. Because you can't just ban everyone off social media or YouTube, because they're gonna find it somewhere. They banned everybody off of Twitter. Now they're just going to Telegram. So, and guess what's on Telegram? Neo-Nazis. So a guy like this, Charles, who's like, why even vote anymore? Pretty soon, Charles, I don't know, maybe if he was a little younger, he might be a little too old, but Charles, who thinks he can't vote him out. What's to stop him from joining the neo-Nazis and going out in the street and doing something batshit crazy? Because he thinks his rights are being taken away from him from, like, Satanists. Which I don't know how I would feel if I thought that was reality. Like, how would, like, you know what I mean? You know, we can, like, make fun of these people. Like, it's fun. It's and very enjoyable to mock these people. And I very much enjoy doing it. In fact, we're about to do that in a minute. But I don't know, man. I don't want to keep living in this world of just constant garbage misinformation, just destroying people's lives. Like, one of my patrons today shared, I have a section in my Discord where you can share your stories about Q, and he shared this real long thread about how his brother was just, how his brother, like, kind of slowly got into Q and then got his dad into it, and he's having a really hard time, like, even talking to him or pulling him back. And it's crazy how that works, you know what I mean? And I'm sure all these people have a similar story, except maybe Jim there. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching another video. Remember, if you want to support me, the link to my Patreon is in the description. Also, you can subscribe to me on Twitch. If you have an Amazon Prime membership, you get 1 free Twitch subscription, so you can do that. All the links to everything are down in the description. You can follow me on TikTok for daily content, and yeah, thanks so much for watching. Also, remember to join the Discord and don't get red pilled.